Good afternoon, it's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
Very exciting.
This time we're actually recording.
I thought I started it before, but anyway. So yeah, episode 118.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've caught some of our out in the field videos that we've done.
Yeah.
We did Westbrook Village and we did the Grand.
The Grand. A driving tour. We still need to do amenities at the Grand, but
That'll come up in a couple of weeks probably.
yeah. Well, we might head out. We might be able to head out there this week. We'll see.
We'll see.
So what is going on with the Phoenix market then? That's what we're going to talk about today. What's new? What's happening specifically, and highlighting the West Valley, of course, as we do with our inventory update. Are prices rising? Days on market getting longer for, how long it takes to sell a house? And is it a seller's market?
Good questions.
Good question.
Please like and subscribe so we can continue to grow our viewership and continue to watch us so you learn what's going on throughout the valley.
Right.
We will have a little humor, a little history, some news, then we'll cover the Cromford Report, we'll review the rates, and then we'll wrap it up with inventory. All right, you got a joke for us?
Sure. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer.
Well, I like it. Sounds like something our granddaughter would.
It does, yeah. It's a fun, corny joke,
Wonderful. All right, there's no better karate instructor than a web in your face.
For sure. The cobwebs are definitely happening out there already. Lots of insects coming in.
Lizards, we're seeing lizards.
Like
all you get is a
crazy,
day
yeah.
or two of warm weather and they're crawling all over the place.
Yep.
Kind of cool.
So.
All right, a little bit of history for this week. In 1997, Tiger Woods wins his first Masters title on April 13th.
He was always so fun to watch.
And this, he made the cut this year, but he's just got lingering health problems that make it impossible
His
for
back, I think, and then maybe that leg.
Yeah, I think he's got a leg
injury,
issue. The leg is still getting in trouble too. So, this year's Master was won by John Ram. He's the fourth Spaniard to win the Masters, and he did it on the 40th anniversary of Seve Ballesteros winning.
And I believe his birthday
first,
as well.
and his birthday.
Sev's birthday,
That's correct.
So, really cool. Congratulations, John Ram. And
That's right. 1947.
Okay.
Baseball history. Jackie Robinson of the Dodgers becomes baseball's first black player,
That's
April
right.
11.
That was right.
1912. The legendary Titanic sinks during the first voyage, April 14th. More than 1,500 perish.
It's a sad day for sure.
Another sad day, 1865, shot by John Wilkes Booth, April 14th. President Abraham Lincoln dies April 15th. I didn't realize he survived today.
I think I knew that, but yeah.
Finally, 1833, the first municipal public library in the U.S. opens April 9th in Peterborough, New Hampshire.
Very cool.
One thing, we just finished up a Dave McCullough book, and it was the settling of the Ohio Valley. And one thing we picked up was that a lot of the libraries that get established were all privately funded by a founder of the
In that community,
city.
yeah, that city, and they would do a library. They would go and get books themselves.
Yeah,
in some
they would
cases.
donate the books, or
And
they would go
then,
buy all the books themselves. Sometimes it would start in their house.
Yes.
It'd be that small, and they would take it on as a mission. So
Pretty cool factoid in history about libraries.
all right, moving on, a little bit of housing news. Mortgage rates are down, and because we're breaking this up, doing it basically monthly, it will be interesting to see how it ebb and flows. It actually ended up almost identical to where we left off March 21st, but there was a lot going on in between, and we're going to cover some of that.
It went up and then it went down, and I think we're back at the same level.
Right.
We'll go over those numbers.
A few weeks ago, mortgage rates were surging upward but began falling after bank failures in early March.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that. Additional banking concerns and weak economic reports kept up downward pressure. So we would love to see rates dropping, but at least they're staying level and not increasing.
Right.
Home prices rise. Surprisingly, strong sales led median home prices to increase by 0.16% in February after several months of decline. And we're going to cover this.
How can we have a market crash with prices rising? What?
We're going to cover that in the Cromford Report. So hang with us.
Hang tight.
Finally, in the housing news, affordability pyramid. We've touched on this a number of times, and it's just not changing very much. According to the National Association of Home Builders housing affordability pyramid, 96.5 million of America's 132.5 million households, or roughly 73%, cannot afford the median price of $425,786 for a single family house.
That's expensive.
This part is even more jaw-dropping. Just under half, 49%, cannot afford a home priced at $250,000. What a huge gap that is.
Yeah, that's a huge gap. Yeah. Before we leave housing news, I did want to say on the mortgage rate front, boy, did I take some flack for naming our last video, will rates remain low? Because apparently they're not low to some people.
Well,
which I understand. 6%, almost 7% really. We're in the mid sixes again. So, and that's not low, but I guess I'm looking at the glass half full. You know, it's not continuing to rise over 7. So.
And historically, they're still low.
Right.
You know,
if you look back at the 80s.
In the 80s, and the 18% rates, and even long periods of times of 8,
like
9%.
Early 90s, wasn't it? It got up there, not as bad as it did in the 80s, but it had gotten up there like in 96, I think. It was
right.
Like 11% or something like that.
I'd love it to always be at 2.50,
well,
but
we all would, yeah.
It's just not going to happen,
free money. Anyway,
all right. Moving on, economic news. Job numbers rise. A non-government report estimates private sector employment increased by 145,000 jobs in March. Published monthly by the ADP Research Institute, the report found increases in leisure and hospitality, trade, transportation, and construction, with decreases in manufacturing, financial, and professional services.
Okay.
And I do like the number coming from the ADP because they basically write most of the checks. So that's a real black and white number. It's not a survey or somebody's opinion, you know, that we're taking for fact. This is actual black and white numbers.
Exactly.
So I like that.
I do like that too.
Fewer job openings. The number of job openings decreased to 9.9 million at the end of February, according to government statistics.
So yeah, it's kind of a gray number. You see it increases over here, but it's decreasing here.
And everybody uses different,
different
matrix to figure it out. So yeah, it can be all over the place.
Yeah.
All right, regulatory news, downbeat data. The weaker jobs report topped a slew of downbeat data reports last week, including lower manufacturing and inventory gluts. The Fed isn't meeting again until May, but has signaled more hikes to fight inflation. They said that at the last meeting.
That's on spring break.
If remaining data is as downbeat, it is hard to make their case. Next Tuesday's inflation report could be pivotal on determining whether they raise it at all in May.
I wonder if that's a core CPI report.
Right.
Is that what's coming out? Okay.
So we'll see what that has next week.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the Cromford Report with Tina Tambier. She's always Tambor. She's always so informative and
hilarious,
funny. She's just hilarious to listen to,
yes,
and
she is.
very
Good
very
stuff.
passionate about what she does, so we really value her insight and what's going on in Valley real estate.
We do. Yeah, we definitely do. Start out by talking about supply and demand and the good old Goldman Sachs article from January.
Yeah, the sensationalization that you get in the news sometimes. On January 25th, Goldman Sachs predicted the housing crash like we had in 2008. Since January, prices have only gone
up.
So they've never recanted it. They're still standing by it, but it's just...
Didn't happen in the first quarter.
Total bunk.
And again, we'll give you some statistics on how much they've gone up, and you have some appreciation right now. So we'll talk about that.
So the Cromford Market Index, that's kind of an indicator of whether we're in a buyer's market, seller's market, balance, 100 being perfectly balanced. We're actually at 138 valley-wide. Now, granted, there's pockets that... You know, you had mentioned there's some areas that are extremely hot.
Yeah.
But there's a couple, only 2 or 3 that are in a buyer's market, and everything else is in a slight seller's market. So in the end, it comes out to be 138, a seller's market.
And part of what's keeping us there is supply is dropping faster than demand is dropping. Demand, you know, people keep pulling back, not shopping for houses because the interest rates are unstable. So, but unfortunately, supply continues to drop. So, and we'll look at that on a micro level too. I think you've got some more positive numbers in some areas, so that's good.
And the other thing that you have to make sure you're aware of when you're looking at this number, okay, that sounds great. We're in a seller's market. It's not a hot market.
It's not a hot market. Yeah.
It is a seller's market. The supply index is only at 59.5, so that's 40% below normal. The demand index is at 82, so that means demand is down as well, 18%. So you have to take those into account when you see that market index of 138. It doesn't mean we're in a super hot market. It just means we're in a healthy seller's market.
Right. It's very close to the numbers in 2016.
Right. They're really very
goes.
similar.
Yeah.
It was almost eerie.
Yeah. And there are parts of the valley that are frenzied hotter and hot, as we've kind of used those labels before. And a few are even frantic and insane.
Right.
Otherwise, you've got some just markets.
Right. They're just healthy.
Just motoring along.
Right. We expect prices to rise slightly the next 2 to 3 months. Buyers, sellers, we're going to skip that part and we're going to go to contract ratios.
Yeah, contract
ratios.
70.4, and that was the end of last week. That number came in. With 12,591 being active listings, and from that 8,865 are under contract. Not from that, but an opposing number basically. So the ratio then is 70.4. So again, there we're close to where we were at in 2017 and 19.
Right.
The numbers are just a lot lower.
It's just the numbers are lower. The supply is below normal. The demand is below normal, but the ratio is there.
Is about
it's just like 17, 19, and 2023 is now even slightly higher at 70. So. Unfortunately, we were hoping anyway, that this inflation number would continue to drop and we would see that magic number of 2%, which is the Fed goal, but by May, I think we've been looking, we started March, then we pushed it out to May. It's not happening fast enough. It's gone from 6.5 to 6.4. We're now down to 6 the last 3 months. So we are seeing it moving in the right direction, but it's just painfully slow. So we're now looking at seeing that 2% goal achieved in July.
Yeah. So I think we'll start seeing some more improvement in May and June.
A faster rate, I think.
Yeah, faster rate of improvement would be good. Yeah, because we know the previous months are falling off and we're getting to better numbers when the Fed started being more aggressive last year.
The thing is, we're almost to a 1-year cycle now, where we hit the peak in May and everything started going down from there.
Just hang on, people,
So-
hang on.
Next month will be the anniversary
Right.
of the peak. So we'll see.
So seller paid closing costs are at 46% of all closings had some sort of concession. And that concession is still right around $9,000, which guess what that will get you? A rate buy down.
Yep, that's right.
So that's what sellers are doing instead of reducing their price, although there are some price reductions, but they are decreasing. I don't have a number for it, but they are decreasing. But sellers are doing, how about we just do a rate buy down for you and give you concession to do that. So,
And with the new Fed limit on buyer paid closing cost, it's of 6%, that can really go a long way.
yeah.
So, towards buying that rate down. I-sellers, they're not I-buyers right now, they're I-sellers.
Yeah.
They are selling about 300 homes a month, but they're only buying about 30.
Yeah, exactly.
So they are definitely deep into selling mode, trying to get rid of that inventory that they collected.
Yeah.
We are at the lowest new listing count in 23 years. This is probably the
That's crazy.
one red flag that Tina raised,
Yeah.
was that the listing deficit.
Listing deficit is what she
So
calls it.
in
yeah.
January, that and this is per day, January was at 21. So basically we sold 21 more homes than
Right.
came on the market. So that number,
So
and
we're
you'll see that in the
deficit and
inventory
deficit,
number that we're going to go
deficit.
over. Right.
Yeah, February and then March, so we've
Yeah,
been,
February was 15 deficit, but here's the scary one, the one that's kind of raising the red flag for her. In March, that
March.
number was 49 per day. So that can multiply out
April will still
really
be
fast.
a pretty big deficit.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see.
It'll
Yeah,
be interesting.
we'll see.
Finally, our emotional meter. Where are people sentiment at? And right now we are between skepticism and hope.
Yes. We're just trying to get past the skepticism a little bit. And part of that is what we do here, is we debunk some of the headlines that are out there. Foreclosures and things. We didn't really touch on that number, but pre-foreclosures for the month of March were 393. Less than 10% actually foreclosed. So you had 30 some odd.
33, I think it was. Yeah.
So yeah, part of it is debunking some of those headlines, but it's bringing you real news and showing you how it applies to real estate today.
Very good.
So.
All right, let's move on to rates. On March 21st, the
Well,
30...
wait a minute,
Oh.
we forgot about appreciation, because this is it's a
Oh,
little ray of
yes.
hope.
Everybody wants to know about
A little ray
appreciation.
of
Go
hope.
ahead.
So
Sorry about that.
your appreciation since December, so December through April, is at a positive 5.7%.
That's good
Well,
news.
good news. The downside is, since last April, you're down 7.2%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are having a dip, but
Yep. The sales price is up from December to April, 3.6%. Unfortunately, it's down year over year, 9.3%.
okay.
So it's kind of a mixed bag there. Median sales prices are up, but yeah, we are inching towards hope, being a little more hopeful. If the rates would remain stable, it's going to help. They may not get much lower, but if they stabilize and no more banks have problems, then we're going to be in better shape. So,
Let's hope so.
so.
All right, now let's
With
move
that
on to
H
rates. We
Okay.
were at, on March 21st, the 30-year was at 6.42. Today it's at 6.41.
Okay.
Essentially exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
15-year, same story, 5.61. Today it's at 5.667. The VA did go up slightly. It was at 5.99. It's now at 6.111. So
okay.
basically rates have just stayed
Yep.
flat.
Okay.
Inventory has not. On March 21st, the valley-wide, we were at 14,199. Today, this morning, we're at 13,277. So we have shed 922 listings.
Wow.
Peoria also dropped less, not as dramatically, 433 down to 400. This one's interesting. Surprise has actually went up. They went from 645 up to 683.
What if I was a builder?
Yeah, releasing a bunch of
maybe. I mean,
new construction homes. There's so much new construction going over there that I have to always take that number with a grain of salt.
Right.
All right, a little closer to home. Trilogy at Estancia currently has 44 homes available. Price range 468,000 up to 1,250,000.
Okay.
The average sold days on market was 83.
Okay.
Estancia Village has 53 available, 407,700. The most affordable, 1,100,000 tops the list, and they're averaging 89 days on market.
Okay.
Blackstone Country Club, 7 homes available, 599,900. The most affordable, 3,280,000. The most expensive.
Bring your checkbook.
Their days on market's 162, as expected. It always takes a lot longer in that luxury market to sell a home.
A little bit harder. Yep.
Portobello has 20 available, 428,000 the most affordable, 950,000 the most expensive. Their days on market is averaging 79. The Grand has 136 homes available, 258,000 for a condo. Most expensive, 889,000, and their days on market is averaging 70.
And we went and looked at, that might be the same listing that we went and looked at, the smaller condo. It was a nice little place.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sun City West has 180 homes available. 195,000 is the most affordable. 925,000 tops the list, and they're averaging 70 days for their sold listings. Finally, Westbrook Village, 34 homes available. 290,000 the most affordable. 699,900 the most expensive, and they're averaging 56 days.
All right. I will say, I forgot to interject it when we were looking at the Cromford Report, but median days on market has reduced since January. For April so far, we're at 28 days on market. Median. These are median. Robert does average instead of median. Median's always going to be lower or higher, but average is kind of a better reading, plus this is a micro level. So that's good. Things are selling, and they're selling pretty quickly, most part.
Okay, a little bit of local information. Trilogy at Estancia sold in the last 30 days 15 homes. They do have 32 homes under contract, so that's very healthy.
That's pretty good.
Estancia Village sold in the last 30 days 22 homes, and they have 24 homes under contract. The Grand sold 43 homes in the last 30 days, and they have a whopping 84 homes under contract. So
I like that you added another community to that kind of a contract ratio.
Right, gives you kind of the contract ratio.
Right.
That's right.
All right.
All right, that's our report for this month. I didn't say we.
Oh, good job.
For this month. So everybody have a blessed week, and we will see you again next month. Be sure to watch for our community videos that we'll be doing the next few weeks.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Take care.